I figured since I'm drawing, I might as well record this.
Is this a test?
No idea. As you all know, cartoonists are the dirtiest, filthiest creatures on the face of the planet, so I have to wear this, a glove, to keep me from getting any filthier. No idea what I'm going to do here. We have Fido and Felicia fighting over a towel. Hey, that's mine. I don't see your name on it. I scent marked it. Is that what that stink is? Yep, marked. Mine. And then Dino pops in. My mother used to write my name on my underwear. And Fido, holding his nose, says, that wasn't necessary. Typical dog and cat jokes. Let me find the rolling ruler. Bring out the fabulous Alvin rolling ruler. The only product that I know Alvin makes. And let's hope it doesn't leave track marks on the... Nope, cool. Usually it leaves track marks on the page. Add to my filth. Alright, what are we going to do here? Well, let's do a 2-point perspective, say about midway up. I'm going to put one dot here and one dot here. And these are your eyeballs. Hey, Irving, on camera 1, can you zoom in just so we can see the eyeballs? A little bit closer here. Yeah, that's probably good enough right there, Irving. So you have one eye over here, and your other eye is over here. Now, don't worry that you're cross-eyed. That's where you are. Good about a cartoonist is we can always put the audience where we want them. Let's say we put them on the couch. Put the characters on the couch. Dino would be sitting on the floor, just as an observer. Let's do a line this way. This would be the top of the couch. And as I know how the couch is constructed, that will be the arm. And do everything else that sort of feels right. Ooh, geez. That's kind of big, so Dino would be big head right here in the foreground. I'm not sure I like that. All right, we're going to call an audible and erase everything and start again. What do I do?
Erase.
Yeah. Let me think for a second here. Well, the important thing is to get Fido and Felicia struggling over a towel. Maybe I've got to do a 1-point perspective. Let's get rid of your eyeballs. And we'll start with the right in the center perspective line. Again, the couch would be about that high. Draw this for the arm of the couch. Let's see how that feels. Draw the depth of the couch. And now we need the dog and the cat. I guess they'd be standing on the couch, huh? Oh, that puts Felicia's head right up into the... That's not good. All right, let's erase again. Yeah. Well, I guess I can't draw the background first. Let's draw the characters where we want them to be sitting on the panel. Then we'll draw the background. Hey, how's that for an idea? Let's see, we want Felicia's head to be about right there because that would make me happy. And why are we here, folks? To make me fucking happy, that's right. Don't do anything that doesn't make you happy.
Make you happy.
Yes. All right, so... let's say she's holding the towel up and away from Fido. So the towel will be about right like that. And let's see, Fido is shorter than Felicia. He'd be about his head about that high. And his hand should be down in fists. He's ready to fight. Bing, bong. So we've decided that the couch will be about right here. Let's do an arm here. And we continue with the single dot in the center as our vanishing point. Fido is standing there. How high would the arm of the couch be? About that? Maybe. Let's draw that. Let's see how this looks. Now, I've got to get Dino in here because he does the punchline, and usually he'd be sitting on the floor, but I guess he'd be about over here, so he's off panel. Alright, that's what we'll do. We'll start the fight. Just the dog and the cat. And let's see, the cushion be about that wide, right? Yeah, let's put my thumb down here, and the other cushion goes there. And okay, there's our stick figures. Let's so the second one we have to move to a 2-point perspective because I want to get Dino in on this. So establishing shot, dog and cat. Second panel. Let's bring the perspective a little up, so we're looking down on this a little bit. So remember, your eyeballs are here and here. I'll draw a little circle around them, and even a, there we go, even a eyebrow. Well, I'm going to draw Dino in the foreground here. Now we'll use the perspective to, there's his hips, there's his shoulder, neck, and head. So he'll be the observer for the in the second panel here. One knee there, one knee there. And what is Dino doing sitting here? Let's say he's playing a video game. So we'll put a classic video game controller in his hand. What game is Dino playing? Well, of course, Grand Theft Auto. Are there other video games? There, and the legs underneath, and there we go. Let's put a nose on him. 5, do, 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 do. All right. He of the stinky underwear. Now we can figure out what the couch looks like, because we know the bottom of the couch is there, and the cushion would be about this height. Dino always sits right to the edge of the what do you call that? The armrest. And even though it's out of the panel, you draw the rest of the couch anyway, just so you have something else to erase. Now the couch has a wooden decorative thing down here. And right now I've got the couch going off into infinity and beyond. But we gotta figure out how wide the cushions are. There are 3 cushions, and they get progressively smaller. So right now this cushion is at the 30 mark here. So I'll make it smaller, and then even smaller as we go off into the distance. And that's all just by feel. Whatever feels right. No, I think I wanted it here. See, no, that doesn't feel right at all. If that's that wide, this one should be a little bit thinner. Alright. There's the couch. Let's get the arm in here. And hopefully the animals will fit on the couch. See what it looks like. Bingo. All right, Felicia was here. That's her feet, and Fido was here. So that's pretty darn close. It might work. Let's. I'm gonna have Fido. I'm doing a curved line here, so Fido is leaning back, self-assured. I scent marked it. Snout up in the air a little bit. What do you think? Arms crossed, or is he pointing? Yeah, I'm gonna do the arms crossed. What the hell? He's assured of his stink. And Felicia goes over here somewhere, so let's use the perspective to get the size of her butt. It's always important. And we know she's taller than Fido, but oh wow, look at that. If she was the same height as Fido, her head would be up into the lettering, which is what we don't want. The lettering is the most important thing. If the audience can't read it, it's worthless. And the one thing audiences don't want to do is read, but I'm forcing them to read. Okay, well, we're forced to put Felicia on her butt so that her head stays out of the lettering. And she'll have the towel up closer to her mouth, her nose. Turn the head up and a look of disgust. Is that what that stink is? As she holds onto the towel there. Let's finish off Fido a bit. 1, 2, 3. I scent marked it. Alright, let's draw the rest of the room here. There's a rug that Dino's sitting on. Border. Boom, boom, and then the center part of the rug. There, and there. TV's playing the video game on, is off screen that way, but we know there's a table here with a lamp on it. So let's just get that in there because we have to. And now, the couch has a wooden foot on it, so we have to remember that is the new ground. So the table goes down to the new ground, not the bottom of the couch. And let's finish off. Once again, we are looking down at this table, so we'll see more of this surface in here than we would. Back in the old days, I used to put a book down here or something just to have something down there, but I don't do it anymore because they're all using Amazon Kindles and they don't have books anymore. And there is the lamp, which goes more or less behind the word balloon there, so I don't have to draw the rest of it. Let's finish off the back of the couch, and there we go. There's panel 2. Now, panel 3. Yep, marked mine. Now, this is when Dino adds his punchline. My mother used to write up my name on my underwear. So let's draw Dino first. And I'm guessing this is going to be another one-pointer. So for visual reasons, I like to swap between the single-point perspective and the two-point perspective between panels, just so there's movement, there's something shiny and bright that everyone can look at. Doesn't get boring. It's not a boring talking head comic strip. Dino being kind of honest here. You know, my mother used to write write your name on the towel. And I guess we'll still put the video game controller in his hands. Now, the couch is, how high is it on Dino's shoulder? It looks like it's just about right there. And his shoulder is just about at the arm. And the height of the couch is right around his eye level. And where does that go? Around chin. right, that works. Again, I'm going to put a dot in the center. That is you. I know it doesn't look anything like you, but take my word for it. That's what you look like to me. You're just this little insignificant dot in the center of my page that I'm going to have to erase. All right, now let's draw the cushions. We know that this cushion is just over Dino's shoulder. So I'm going to do 2, and it disappears off. So let's just erase the arm from the other side so we don't get confused. So I have no idea what I'm doing with this afternoon's show. I'm just going to continue going until I run out of steam. Maybe this will just be a Fido special extra for anyone who wants to see it. But I always would have loved to have seen Charles Schulz draw Peanuts or any of the great cartoonists from my youth actually do their work. We very seldom ever get, I'm not saying I'm a great cartoonist, but we very seldom ever get to see the thing being created. Why does that feel so small? That's horrible. I don't like that, and I erased you again. Stop erasing you. Maybe if I bring this down, you'll feel bigger. Okay, we'll live with that. And I'm going to cheat the perspective line here. All right. Now Felicia is still sitting. Her butt's there. And I'm thinking Fido snatches the towel up at this point where he says, "Yep, marked mine." And he's got the towel right there. Do a hook and have the towel flare off. Felicia's like, let off her paws. That's going to be continue drawing Felicia here. There you go. She's just, the disgust has just dawned on her that she held a towel with dog urine on it. Now Fido's going to be kind of righteous here. So, yeah, marked mine. Oh, maybe you should be looking at the towel rather than at Felicia as he snatches it up. Paw there, one paw there. Put a little weight into Fido's pull. The body's just got to shift back a little bit. And Felicia's feet. Forgot them. And the towel's like whipping up in this direction as he whips it away. And then Dino gives his, my mother used to write my name on my underwear, and then I guess what we'll do is we'll draw Dino sitting here on the floor, still holding his controller, taking the full inside of Fido, who's hopped off the couch. Couch there, arm there, about that wide. That. We'll do again one point perspective. Felicia's still about right there. Fido's on the floor. Got to be holding his nose.
Are you still recording?
Yeah, we're still recording. Trying to figure out how to do this right. That wasn't necessary. Where's the towel? Oh well, put the towel in this hand. This is an important expression, nose blocking, which sells the entire joke. You'd already scent marked your underwear. Your mother did not need to put your name on it. Well, okay, I guess that's, those are stick figures. And from start to finish, how long did that take us? 22 minutes. 20 minutes for a bunch of stick figures. Now, maybe we'll pause this and come back after I rest and relax a little bit, and you'll see what step 2 in this whole ordeal is. But remember, do not do anything that doesn't make you happy. And if I won $1 billion in a lottery tomorrow, I'd still be drawing Fido for you people out there for free. Hope to see everyone in part 2 on this. Okay, we're going to try to do part 2 here, and if I did this correctly, it's exactly as we left it in part 1, except the borders have been done and the lettering's been done. You guys don't want to watch that, do you? Those cartoonists are the dirtiest, filthiest creatures on the face of the planet. I have to put on a glove, and we bring out our trusty Blackwing pencil. And let's get to work on the finished penciling. I go over it one more time with a darker lead pencil to refine the lines of the characters and try to get the acting proper. Now we have to have Fido a little bit angry here, but not too angry. We just curve down, we just straighten out that part of the eye, acting, and he's looking at Felicia, so the eyeballs have got to go right up there. Boom. And draw a straight line to Felicia, and you see exactly where he's looking. Now, I'm going to have this eyebrow going up and this eyebrow down, kind of a John Belushi thing there. And get the ears in there. And I'm going to stick with that mouth that I originally drew. That part right there is very important to show that it's got his cheek has a thickness to it. And try to bring some weight to these characters if possible. Now, neck. Let's stretch out his neck a little bit that way. So when we do that, he's leaning forward a bit, but I've got him pretty stiff here. Would his paws be out like that? I think they'd be turned in more, actually, wouldn't they? So let's redraw those fists, those little puppy paws. So it'd be a circle. Now we want to put the thumb on top. So there's the thumb on top, and then each. Now who would have thought the dog had a thumb? Now this one could probably stay as it is. But I just wanted to let me do that one more time. All right. Pinky, middle finger, index finger, and then thumb comes down. There we go. Yeah. It took me 2 times, two tries to get that one right. All right. And thin at the wrists, tapered to a little bit more muscle up by the biceps. Now that little fragile shoulder is important here because he is sort of trembling a bit. And we decide to keep this fist as it was. Now, we get a problem with the feet here. In that they're not in the perspective. Let's get our ruler here to show you our problem. Well, this one will do. So, yeah. That shoulder should be higher. If that's his hip, would both feet come this way? Maybe. Think that through a bit. Don't forget the haunch. I think that reads a little bit better. What do you think at home? There we go. All right, let's get Felicia here. I don't see your name on it. It's her line. Make the nose a little bit smaller. And the eyes are down a little bit, and she's squinting over at Fido like, you fool. Typical condescending cat? Condescending cat. 1, 2, 3, and the same bend in the neck. Now, there should be some stress marks on the towel, and let's give it a corner here. And remember that the towel has these lines in it. That's wrong. I don't know why they put these lines in the towel. I think it's to keep the towel from fraying on the edges. And okay, that works out. Now this foot is back there. Well, let's bring it forward just a little bit. And the tail is still with that dismissive twist. There we go. Panel 1. I don't bother doing the couch in the background. That's minor. That's either put a new pointer in this pencil or just grab another one that I've already sharpened. Okay, I scent marked it. We decided we were going to have Fido cross his arms. Got a kind of manic look in his face there. Well, hey, he's talking about pissing on a towel. It should be scary, Chief Colorist. We'll put this arm forward. his shoulders are kind of hunched up as he crosses his arms. Now, there's a major problem here with the body, in that it's not reading properly. Let's see what's going on here. That would be the torso and the stomach, and we'll have to bring the feet down to just about going over the. Oh, that's why, because Fleech's leg here is going to block it. I think. Let me get a closer look at this mess. Make Fido. Let's see. How would the tail be here? I scent marked it, so the tail's going to be up, making a declarative statement. And yes, it's important that its tail be up. And this cat foot is blocking Fido's other foot, so I don't have to draw it. Now we have to have Felicia looking at the towel. Complete disgust, so we bring her jowls down. Angry look in the eye. We can even turn the slight center of her forehead down. She looks at the towel. And we can probably see a few wisps of the hair on this side too. Is that what this stink is? Now how do I get her claws? Yeah, I want a little bit of a fist into her paws here. And she's now holding the towel. With a bit of disgust, where she was sort of holding it lovingly in the first panel. She's got to be holding it with a little bit of disgust in this panel, having realized what that stink is. Let's bring the towel down in there so we don't have to draw too much of Felicia's body. And let's again remember that the towel has these lines, which gets broken up here because of the scratching she's done to it. And this foot actually is in front of the towel too. Now we introduce the Dino character in the second panel here. He's just the observer. You oftentimes have to have a human observer with the animals, even if they have no lines. I think his ear should move in a little bit further. That little faggy earring he's got. And a round head. Okay. Let's draw the fingers on the controller first. Then the controller. And 3D it. So when I do the original drawing with the Dixon Ticonderoga pencil, the light pencil, I generally have to walk away from something for an hour or so as to come back with fresher eyes. Now Dino's t-shirt is black. I could either like color the entire thing with black, but then that's just more pencil marks to erase. Just put an X on that. Tell him, make his t-shirt black, dummy. And this t-shirt down here is black. Sweatpants. All right. I guess we can draw a little bit of a shoelace there. You won't see his shoes until the last panel anyway. Okay, panel number 3. Moving right along. Yep, marked mine. So Fido's got a big smile on his face in this one. going to be pulling the towel out of Felicia's unresisting hands, paws, as they were. So we decided we want him to be looking down at the towel. Neck goes that way. Now let's see how we're doing the hands here. I guess his hand over that one. Keep on saying hand. Paw. His paw over that one. Wrap the towel that way, wrap the towel that way. And there should be some stress lines because he's, well, no, she's released it. And maybe a little bit of space in between each finger to denote that she's utterly disgusted. Let's get Felicia's face in here. I'm going to droop the jowls just a little bit. And see, that makes the mouth shape. And I'm going to twist this eyebrow a little bit. Actually, let's think about it. Let's droop down the hair on either side of her head. Try to get a maximum performance out of the cat. Now, what's Fido doing with this other hand? Let's wrap it on the towel over here. And let's give him a waggly tail. What the hell? Yep, marked. Mine. Yeah, I want to simultaneously get Fido pulling the towel away from her butt. She has to have dropped it beforehand. Has that conveyed that idea? Let me get his other foot in here and we'll think about it. Where's Felicia's tail? I don't have her tail in this one either. Looks like Dino's head is more or less blocking her tail in this frame, so that's okay. But in this one, the tail has got to be just dead flat. And let's get a new point on the pencils. And enter Dino with the little bon mot about what his mother did when you had to go to summer camp. Oh, we were just watching a thing on the Muppets. After Jim Henson died, they recast Kermit. After I died, nobody draws Fido the comic strip. This thing dies with me, okay? Those are my wishes.
Okay.
But what I want to do is sell this to Disney first so that they can get fucked over. let's see, how would he probably just open hand expression, huh? 1, 2. Yeah. Let's erase some of that cattail. All right, we're gonna have a thumb here. Well, I already know how I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be shot. Murdered on the streets. Now, all right, this one is going to be a difficult one now. Would it be funnier if he was actually holding his nose, or what? See, my thought might have been to have Fido with one finger, another finger actually blocking his nose. That's not necessary. Or do we just do a hand in front of the nose? Yeah, well, get a better looking mouth there. Well, either way, that hand is not right. That paw is not right. It kind of looks like he's huffing his own breath into his paw to sniff it. That's not what we're looking for. All right, let's see what a couple of fingers pinching around the nose look like. One up there. Maybe. We're getting closer, I think. Maybe the whole holding the nose thing is going a little bit too far, because he's closer to his own towel than he is to smelling Dino's underwear. Yeah, to be continued. I might have to redraw that one again. This is the sort of thing you have to come back to the next day. Don't make that arm too big. That arm is a little bit too big too. All right, and another thing I was thinking about, Felicia.
Did I hear the words chief colors?
No,
Okay, never mind.
Felicia's in the wrong position here. I mean, you could just as well be smelling Felicia as Fido. Since if she was still standing where she was sitting, where she was still sitting, her head would be in the word balloons. Let's move her off to a position getting ready for curling up and doing a normal cat nap over here on the arm of the couch. And here's the body and paw underneath that sort of wraps around, so it's like, and this paw is just coming up top. So she's still in the motion of moving over to the arm of the couch, and the tail is always important. In this case, it's just going to be dragging behind her, mostly behind Dino's head, so you won't see it. But that gets Felicia off the screen, off to the side, doing something a cat characteristically would be doing, and makes sense for the character. Yeah, see, the whole motion of him holding the towel like this even looks like he's like disgusted by his own smell of the towel. Doesn't it make more sense, actually? Let's erase that hand completely. If he's already got this towel down by his side, this is his security blanket, as Linus Van Pelt would put it. So it's under his arm, protected, safe. See, if he was holding it up like this, it's like it gives it the connotation that he's disgusted by his own smell, when he's disgusted by Dino's smell. Yeah, that's better body language. But would he be holding it up like that? No, his hands would be down more. No, 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 do, do. Having retaken possession of the towel. Would it be stiff like that? No. Let's make the gravity work properly. The towel would come out to under his arm and then fall flat to the ground. Typical towel physics. Well, temporarily we'll stick with that. Dino, having just taken the insult, not quite registered it yet. Well, he'll just be holding the controller in this hand. The other hand would be, he usually has a beer, and I haven't given him a beer in this scene. Let's see, if he had a beer, it would be somewhere down here, mostly hidden by his knee. Okay, there's his beer. You don't see it in this scene because it's below the level of the frame, but you would see it in this scene because he has picked it up. And that gives his hand something to do. The beer is blocked by the knee. And I guess we decided we were putting him in his sneakers. Converse Chuck Taylors. Body seems to be a little bit on the long side. Let's bring that up a bit. And there we go. Oh, let's not forget the cat. Draw this paw first. And Felicia is just glad to be out of all that. We can only assume she wanted the towel to use for napping anyway. And there we go. We have the finished penciling done for a Fido the comic strip. If I'm able to get this together properly, we'll do a part 3 even, where we do the inking. Maybe there'll be a part 3, maybe there won't. If there will be, it'll be coming right now. Well, anybody who is still here, assuming I connect all these 3 videos together, we are at night. We are in the middle of the night here in Boston, and see how seamlessly I can stitch all this together. We have to ink. Let's get our Himalayan tree squirrel pubic hair brush. Got a nice point on it. And our ink. Now, as you can tell, the brush is dry. Never go in with a dry brush. Fortunately, I have a sacrificial piece of Bristol here that we can. Yeah, if I can get that open.
Those are frightening.
Let's see if we can get the brush into some condition to hold ink. See, we don't want drops of ink like that. That's bad. Can I get any control out of this? Nope. Nope, no control yet. Well, thank you for joining me for the inking.
Today's inking portion will be brought to you by Typhoon Pencils.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we're starting to get a little control. Ready or not, here we come. Let's bring back the comic strip. At least we can do the word balloons first. Get some feeling as to whether I'm going to have any control over this brush. I'd be crazy if I went right into the characters right now, wouldn't I? So plant the foot of your hand on the board so that I can make these wonderful little parentheses, which is what the word balloons in Fido the comic strip are like. Okay, dare we go in? Do we go in? Start in the upper right hand corner and work down to the upper left hand corner, work down to the right. Okay, I get ink in my hands. So that you don't smudge your ink with your hand. Now usually I would put down a piece of paper here to protect the comic strip from my hand smudging the pencil mark, as this pencil will smudge. And that's my excuse to do some commentary on something in pop culture. We're not doing that in this show. This is Fido uncensored. Fido censored.
No,
Yeah.
Fido.
Fido very censored. Yeah. We're just
Censored Fido.
we are just drawing the comic strip from start to finish in one long go. And only the truly committed, those who truly should be committed, are still here. you remember I said that this line right there was very important to show the thickness of Fido's lip. It's very important to try to get some weight in these little two-dimensional characters. Why is it important? Because it makes me happy.
And why are we doing this?
Why are we here? To make me fucking happy. Yeah, you're right. Don't do anything that doesn't make you happy. There are already too many people out there in this world who are not happy with what they do. You don't need to add to that. We here at Fido the Comic Strip bring a word of peace and love and joy and happiness. That's all we're talking about here. You can tell I'm the most peaceful, loving, joyful, happy person on this planet.
At least that's all we're talking about now because you don't have an excuse to do a bit. I mean,
I made a beef curry last night, and I understand any of our Indian friends out there. Beef curry, there's something sort of sacrilegious about it, but anyway,
I thought you weren't going to tell people about that.
I made a beef curry, and trying to put the leftovers away in the refrigerator, I put them in a Ziploc bag. When I pushed them in there, the bag exploded open. You would not believe the mess. It was like a murder scene, all over the refrigerator, the kitchen floor, and I just, I am done. I can't clean this up. I just don't have the ability. But I gotta clean it eventually. The refrigerator beeping at me. Close the door. Beep, beep, beep. Shut up.
It's been open for too long.
Well, I can't close it. I'll make more of a mess. All right, Felicia has 1, 2, 3 whiskers. I think she, curling up here would be in character because she's being kind of sly. I don't see your name on it. Well, it's good that we're finally able to get some control out of the brush. These are spectacular brushes. They're very expensive, but they're very good brushes. Worth every penny. I would recommend if you're going to use a brush, don't cheap out on it. Get the most expensive brush out there. It's expensive for a reason. Art supplies today are generally garbage. They don't make them like they used to, obviously. So this particular brush is the Black Velvet from Blick, but we're telling everyone that it's a special Himalayan tree squirrel pubic hair brush. The reason why it's so expensive is that it costs a lot to send the Sherpas up the mountain to denude the squirrels. Alright, let's see, we got one stretch mark there and one stretch mark there. Yes, we're talking about stretch marks now. I believe they put these stripes in the towels to keep the edges from fraying. So you know it's not a beach towel, but a bath towel that Fido was using here. Important detail. They put a little shadow under her elbow there. Gives pops it forward a little.
Am I hearing my name?
No, I'm talking to whoever is listening on the microphone. Chief colorist.
Oh, okay. I thought you called me.
No, you're not in today's show.
No, I guess not.
Yeah. There's no coloring for you to be doing. But you're here in spirit, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
As always.
Scott Adams, the cartoonist who drew Dilbert, used to say that cartooning was a very lonely business. And my answer to Scott Adams was, well, you're not doing it right. I have the chief colorist here up my ass 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay, try that again with more, more happiness.
Well, you know me, I'm happy, happy, joy, joy, positive man. See, we're still going to have the Fido live show. The live 191 will be next week. And we'll return to our normal format where I beat up on the Walt Disney Corporation. But tonight, we're just working. This would be a normal night here at the Cobbett Studios of Fido the comic strip. They're turning off our water for some unknown reason, for some unknown period of time tomorrow. So I'm hoping I at least get my morning shower in beforehand. Excuse me. A little bit of a cough there. Must be all those cigars you smoke, cartoonist. Oh, yeah, people at home might notice that we are not consuming any tobacco this evening. No, I haven't quit. No, I haven't decided to go on a health kick. I'm still a horrible person who consumes illegal tobacco. I will not smoke the now legal marijuana that everyone else seems to be smoking. I think it kind of kills your brain cells. And I need those brain cells. But I never thought they'd make marijuana legal. It was silly to make it illegal to begin with.
You weren't doing a bit.
If I had like a page on the table with like a pot plant, I'd understand you complaining about me doing a bit. We haven't even done the period where the cartoonist blows his nose.
Ew.
I'm not sniffling yet. So you never want to draw your characters this small.
But you keep doing it anyway.
Well, I needed a sort of establishing shot and to show that Dino was sitting right there, right off panel here.
Okay.
Now, see, Fido's tail has to be up. As he proudly states that he urinated on the towel that Felicia is holding to her face.
Ew.
Okay, now we have to get the proper look of disgust on Felicia's face. And half of that's going to be in the whiskers. Do a few dots here. Now, disgusted whiskers, do they go up or do they go down? I'm going to say they go down, and down straight. Now, we here at Fido the Comic Strip like it when the characters' heads bleed into the word balloon like this.
Okay.
It's just a stylistic thing that we chose to use. I'm not sure if anyone else does it. Usually the word balloons are sacrosanct. You can't enter them. But the word balloons are much more important than the drawing. It's the writing that makes a comic strip, not the drawing. A comic strip can survive bad art, but it can never survive bad writing. Like, this is pretty bad writing, but, Brothium humor. But don't tell the chief colorist that. She thinks I'm brilliant.
What?
Right, yeah?
Right?
Uh-huh.
What did you say?
I guess you'll have to watch the show to find out what I said.
I hate listening to my voice.
Don't worry, you're not in the show.
I'm a little bit in the show. Actually, probably can't hear me at all.
Nah, they can't hear you. I've briefly thought about miking up the chief colorist, but it's not worth it.
Hey.
Well, it's too much like work. We don't do any editing here, and this will be the closest to any editing. All I'm going to do is add each of these to the end of the other, and I'll link these 3 videos together. Probably call something like Fido's Long Day's Journey into Night. That's a play by Eugene O'Neill, and I grew old watching that play. I could feel the hours of my life just ticking away.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Cut it
O'Neill.
out.
Let's make Dino's ear a little bit bigger here. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why do I do that? It's stylistically. I don't know. Makes me feel good.
And why do we do anything?
Make me feel good. You got it. I stole that from one of my idols in the cartooning industry, Robert Crumb. Robert and I would not get along whatsoever politically. I can respect him for the work he's done. And I'm pretty sure Robert Crumb and I would agree with more than we would disagree with. But that doesn't make me a filthy hippie like he is.
Hey now.
Hey, Bobby, how do you like paying those taxes over there in France? Socialist paradise, isn't it, Bobby? But one of the few things I can be 100% absolutely secure and positive will never happen is none of this will ever get back to Robert Crumb. He will never see this. He will never hear me mentioning him. Robert Crumb has better things to do with his life than to watch me ink. You, on the other hand, obviously don't. Welcome to Fido the Comic Strip. What was that? I don't know. I heard a sound off. Is that outside? Yeah, perhaps.
What's the sound?
It sounded like a guppy.
Hmm?
Yeah.
That wasn't me. But it's amazing I can do a guppy.
It's amazing you knew what a guppy sounded like. Have you ever had a guppy?
Yeah. I must have. I had little tanks when I was growing up. Wow, I handed you that line.
Little tanks. Yep, nope. I got nothing.
Yep. That's good.
Why? What would you recommend that I say?
Oh, I have no idea.
You had tanks when you also.
Shakes.
Yeah, well, you had a pony and
There you
and,
go.
and you had the pool, and Santa visited you. And, you never pumped gasoline in your life.
Okay, that was by choice. That one I will give you. That was a
I had family who were mechanics, and they told me, don't even bother learning this, Charles. The way they're building cars in the future, not even going to be able to open the hood. It's all computer, and you need a laptop to fix your car. And I went as far as like changing oil. That's about it. But I never learned. But I can change gas. I put gas in my car.
I just never wanted to. Okay? That I will fully admit to.
Do you even know that on the pump you have to turn it on before you stop pumping the gas?
Of course I do.
Okay.
I've seen people do
Lord.
it. I've witnessed it
Uh-huh.
happening. I have, noticed the mechanics of the nozzle.
And this concludes the Beat Up on the Chief Colorist segment of the show.
Good, I'm glad it's done.
We'll continue this next Sunday at noon.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about putting this out on the old channel, the C Crow C I channel,
Okay.
the one that we put the dailies out on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never a good idea to put out like an hour-long thing like this is when everything else is a minute long, because it screws up your YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping this will be like an advertisement to bring people to the other channel. That's where
There you go.
Fido Live. In fact, I think if you even type in Fido Live in your YouTube, you'll see it. And when this goes out on Rumble, Rumble's all the same one channel. Yeah, I'll probably put this on Rumble. We'll call this
Definitely should do that.
We'll call this the extra special Fido Long Day's Journey into Night. So the bigger question we should ask here is, how far are we going to take this trip to completion? Are we going to do the backgrounds as well?
Oh,
Gee, it'd be great if we can get the camera over there and watch the chief colorist as she colors it.
don't you? Unless it's solely on my hands.
Oh yeah, it'd be solely on your hands. We don't publish our faces because we're not public figures really, and if you can get away without showing your face, it's always to the better, as far as fame and fortune goes. We shall seek none of that here at Fido the Comic Strip. It's this that's important, not us.
Plus, nobody wants to see my face.
Well, everyone wants to see me.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
nobody wants to see my face.
Well, they want to see what the lucky woman who captured the heart of the cartoonist looks like.
That's true. But never give your enemies that ammunition.
I like how she immediately assumes they're enemies.
Of course they are. If they're actively pursuing you, of course they are.
They only want to shoot me on the street, cold blood.
Stop it.
Just a couple bullets in the kneecaps, that's all.
Stop it.
I wonder how the censorship will take that. There's a computer algorithm that does the censorship on YouTube, and if they just hear, they hear things out of context. That's why people have developed like a whole new YouTube way of speaking. Rather than saying the S word, they say they unalived. Rather than saying
I've also
don't
heard
use any of the
slew a
words.
slide.
yeah. I don't want to use any of the other words. All right, it's very important that her fingers look like they're just dropping something disgusting. Felicia's hands here have to look like the average bar patron when they see Fido come into the bar back in the old days. Ooh, this is disgusting. There we go. Now, how should her whiskers be here? I'm just going to go straight out with them. All right. And now Dino gets his lines in. Oop, hiccups. Let's see if we can execute the Fido hiccup cure. In case anyone's wondering, the patented Fido hiccup cure is you stick your tongue hard against the roof of your mouth. But that only works if you're self-actualized. Right, Chief Colorist?
Right.
She's got her headset on. She can't hear.
I know. I don't know what you said, but whatever.
All right, I got a little bit of a problem here in that Dino's hand. I'm going to have to come very close to touching what I just inked. Let's see if I can put down a post-it note to preserve it a little bit. Yeah, let's not forget the cat's tail. Now, I'm sure when I pick up this post-it note, that will be in perfect condition, right? Of course it is. Gone a long time without dipping the brush in the ink. I try whenever possible when I'm doing the t-shirts like this and splotches of black to put it down in the first coat thick enough so I don't have to go back to do a second coat. But I should be doing like a light coat and then come back and do a second coat. Oh well, I'm not doing that. This is your moment of zen.
Everybody will be silent.
All right, last panel. I guess we're gonna stick with Fido holding his nose like that. If I spent more time with this comic strip, I probably would have changed that. But, oh well. We got this done in the day. And I have to produce one of these every day
For the rest of your life.
for the rest of my life. That's right, Chief Colorist. A minimum of one a day. That includes writing, drawing, inking. And doing little promotional things like this. But drawing a comic strip is great. If everyone in the world drew a comic strip, we would all die a horrible death, frozen in our apartments with no electricity or food, surrounded by garbage. Because we need people out there in the world to do everything else to make the world work, so that we don't have to. I'm going to round this towel over a little bit. Almost done. Whew. Would you believe that's not a motorcycle? That's actually a car making that noise. He went by last night at around 11, just as loud as that. And I thought for sure it was a motorcycle. It's a little hatchback car with this big Foster's oil can, bear can, exhaust on the back. He's done a bunch of other things that I'm pretty sure have voided the warranty. But we here at Fido the Comic Strip have spoken about how shitty modern cars are, thanks to the cafe standards and how nearly all the engines are eating themselves. Because the oil is too thin. Let's get Felicia in here while I'm working. I hadn't noticed until later on that actually Felicia's doing the same protective thing to her nose. I had originally drawn this just as if she was curling up to take a nap. shoelace down here. Yes, Dino does not take off his shoes in the apartment. And let's color in his t-shirt and we are done. And that's it. Everybody at home, smoke them if you got them. We are finished. Irving, on camera 1, could you zoom out a little bit so we can get to look at our board a little bit better? I've got up here the script where I write this. And those magnets are just strong enough to hold that hardcover book. Well, it wouldn't be a Fido the comic strip if there wasn't just a little bit of tobacco abuse. Remember, kids, you too can be cool like a cartoonist. All you need is your own Fido brand cigar. Now, a Fido brand cigar is a thicker ring gauge and about the span from a forefinger to your thumb. Let's see, where is the cutter? Everyone drawing a comic strip at home, be sure to put the cap back on your ink bottle, because you don't want to know what happens when you forget to do that. The messes can be legendary. It can be even worse than a beef curry falling out of a refrigerator at 10 o'clock at night. No one will be seated for the cigar lighting portion of the show. Wow, we did that in one day, everybody.
Yay.
Yeah. Be sure to visit the website up there, FidoTheComicStrip.com.
For all your Fido needs.
That's where you go for all your Fido needs. And if you haven't yet, go check out Fido Live. We just finished show number 190. This is show number, well, this is not a show. We're just going to call this Fido's Long Day Journey into Night. Day.
One idea's journey into strip.
With apologies to Eugene O'Neill. See everybody Sunday at noon.